good, clean fight. What is worth it? Good work.
2 weeks ago in Memphis, we had a great event. Tonight in Las Vegas, we are looking forward to a great fight.
Not much sweat on Morales at all.
Very dry.
Face is warm. Legs got grease, Vaseline. Barrera looked nice. Wet on the chest. He's had a sweat going.
And Barrera holds up a glove to salute Morales from across the ring.
Ring the bell.
Erik simply ignores him. They go to work. Morales' attack primarily over the top. His most dangerous punch, the overhand right. Barrera traditionally relies on the left hook to the body. In recent years, he's added an excellent jab and a strong counter right hand.
Morales has always been an outstanding boxer who always finds himself in hard fights. Need not. He's got an excellent left jab, right hand in corner. His problem is when he backs away, he gets caught. Never learn to circle when you're doing. Deliver your shots and circle to the left or to the right.
Let's see if Morales can do a better job of backing away at angles in this fight. Already, they have boxed in a more disciplined fashion for the first minute of the fight than was the case for any minute of the fight 2.5 years ago. Now Barrera goes forward behind the right hand.
This is a stand-up boxing match as is now. Morales can get the best of it. Keep your balance, keep your height, and your jab.
There's the first left hook to the body by Barrera. No question, fighting at distance, Erik Morales ought to have the advantages.
That's why he had the odds favored him in the first time around. He's an excellent boxer. Now stick to your game plan.
But he stands up so straight that he seems to have a big target area.
No, you can't hit him up there unless you drop your waist just a little bit as he's doing there. Weave and bobbing is causing a problem.
Very tactical first round. Mexican fans may not believe what they're watching between these two guys. It's so completely at odds with any round they fought 2.5 years ago. Now they begin to engage a little bit more closely. Gets the left hand to the body and begins to shorten the distance between himself and Morales.
If you're Barrera, you want to get those left hooks to the body. Very important early on because this guy Morales got the better footwork. He bounces in circles. Take his legs away.
Morales landed one shot a little below the waistline. Barrera ignored it. Referee Jay Nady didn't see it. Good head movement in the early going by Morales.
Barrera is making Morales make the fight.
That's a mistake on Morales' part. You don't want to go charging after this guy.
But he does, and lands a right hand. Hard right hand to the top of Barrera's head by Morales. Those two right hands in the last 20 seconds may well have given Erik Morales the first round. When we go to the corners, where they speak Spanish in both corners, our interpreter is Ray Torres.
Very intelligent. Okay, you made a miss. Yeah, place yourself a little bit more angle-wise, a little sideways, and work your jab. You got to counter punch. You come out and don't have your hands so wide open. We got all the condition in the world. We need to do everything. You did well. Got a great round. The fight is yours. This is your night.
CompuBox numbers in round one, pretty equal. Morales 12 out of 39, Barrera 13 out of 43. Slow pace. Average round for featherweights, 57 punches. In the first fight, Morales was often throwing more than 70, sometimes 80 or 90 punches per round. Barrera fought at the slower pace. Maybe that hurt him when the judge's decision was announced.
Morales got his hands up high. That discourages Barrera always. Keep your hands up, and he just can't see where to throw.
Barrera blocking Morales' shots with his gloves as Erik chases him back. Still Barrera making Morales make the fight. Now he steps forward and drives a right hand through the guard. And a right hand to the body by Barrera as well.
You know, you get into a fight with Ahmed and you get a conscious of some superiority, and then you come back to the ground. Morales is not Ahmed. You're going to have to take it to him. He's not going to allow for you to box and play with him.
Ahmed against Barrera was a counterpuncher with nothing to counter. Morales wants to attack. Barrera is shortening the distance again and now starting to get to the body. Big left hook upstairs by Marco Antonio Barrera.
Stop. Don't push on the brake.
Now Morales starts to jab to the body.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You take some of the steam out of that balloon, jab to the body.
Blood on the nose of Erik Morales.
There are bruises on the nose and under his right eye already.
Couple of body shots landing for Morales there.
Sangra, the first blood.
Right on the bridge of the nose. Maybe the product of that big left hook that Barrera landed. Morales reaching to throw over the top. Barrera again gets the left hook in. Not a lot of sock on that one. Hard right and left by Morales in close. They nearly butt heads as Barrera ducked to get out of the way. Once again, as was the case against Prince Naseem, Barrera seems to be measuring his punches, content to box rather than to slug.
You did well. You did well. You did real good. Look how you left him. You got to keep the double jab. That's what's going to do it. That's going to get in. It's okay. Nothing's happening. You got to work a little bit more. You got to prepare the right hand and then throw it. Combination, 3-4 punches. Next round, just keep working it. Move your waist a little bit. Move around. And the right hand with everything. Throw the hand with power. Move around. Lateral movement. And the right hand.
Chess is a substitute for war, and right now we are seeing a chess match.
CompuBox numbers in round 2. Again, almost dead even. Morales 19 out of 50. Barrera 16 out of 50. Little to choose between the two fighters in rounds 1 and 2.
I like it when Barrera starts trying to be the boxer, moving away. Morales attacks him. Though he's the boxer, he still goes on the attack.
Advantage whom?
Morales, because this is a point system. Every round is going to count. Judges are looking at each round.
And the aggressor normally has the advantage, particularly here in Las Vegas. Hard right hand counter by Barrera as Morales leaned over again. Different judging panel tonight than was the case the first time around. Wayne Ford, the only judge who comes back. He was the one who scored the fight for Barrera. They trade shots. Barrera with a right hand to the body. Morales with a right hand upstairs. An alternative universe. An entirely different fight than the first time around. A right cross lands down the middle for Barrera.
Morales is initiating all of the contact. He hits him and Barrera pays him back. Misses the shot. He doesn't even try to get his balance back. He continues on trying to land that shot that he intended to land originally, even if he's off balance.
But that's when Barrera pops him. Barrera's taking advantage.
You want to grab the real estate and keep it. And that's what Morales does.
Morales chasing Barrera across the ring. Barrera cautiously staying away. Part of what Morales derided Barrera for coming into the fight is his style. He says, he never attacks me, he just waits. So far in the first few rounds, Morales is right. Barrera waiting on him. And Barrera snapping the jab as Morales comes forward. Seem to be trying to conserve energy for the long haul, and Barrera may be conserving a little more with his style.
A little more jab. Jab. And you're going to stop him when you hit him with the jab. We're doing well. Your left hand. That's what you need. When he comes in, he's going to be the jab. Deep breath now. You got to put pressure on him. He's going to go. You're going to score a knockdown. Let's press you more. Let's be more aggressive. Don't give him a chance.
So far, we haven't had much drama in this fight. A collision of heads. No consequence.
No, the biggest difference numerically between this fight and the first is that Erik Morales, for the moment, is throwing 30 punches fewer per round than was the case 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago at this time, he had thrown 89 more punches than he has launched tonight. Clearly trying to conserve energy for the later round. Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim. I got a 29-28, 2 rounds to 1, Erik Morales. You know, I always thought of Marco Antonio Barrera as a walking backer, flat-footed, hard-hitter, great left hooker. I'm not used to him just running away like this, circling constantly, backing up, you know, moving to either side, flicking out an occasional jab. I like the aggressiveness of Erik Morales so far. I thought he won rounds 1 and 3 on the aggressiveness you're looking at right now. Barrera just backing away, not getting flat-footed, not landing the hard shots.
I have it 1 round apiece and 1 even.
I like Morales. He keeps that. He drops it a little bit. The left hand. He pays. But he keeps his right hand right up by the chin.
Right now, it appears that neither fighter wants to go through the hell of their first fight.
No question.
No, Morales is trying his best to pick a fight. Just not happening back.
I think there's no question that Erik would like the pace of the first fight and the aggression of the first fight more than would Marco Antonio. Marco Antonio has added some wrinkles to his game in the 2.5 intervening years, and they give him some options that maybe he didn't have then.
As you can see, Morales definitely didn't want to fight. He doesn't let it breathe. This guy gets away from him.
Barrera, who used to put so much on every punch, throwing a lot of just simple arm shots.
He's trying to conserve his energy as he realizes this fight can get out of control.
And he's landing for the sake of landing and keeping things under control.
Barrera wants to pick the fight up in the middle round. That's when they get hard to think that the judges can give you the fight if you win the last 3 rounds.
When Erik Morales really gets it going, I call him the Air Force because so much of the offense comes straight over the top. And there's a big left hook upstairs. Best punch of the fight for Morales. He tries to follow up behind it. Box! Morales landed those 2 right hands toward the end of the first round, and now this left hook. Barrera blocks a right hand shot there. A right hand for Barrera.
Morales got to be careful. You don't follow a boxer around, a puncher around with your hands down.
Give me the ice bag. You stay right there. Yeah. Deep breath. Let's get some air through the mouth. Open your mouth. You see, round by round, the jab is working. We're going to win. When you tie him up, hit him down in the body. Yeah, tie him up and hit him in the body.
Both fighters fighting within themselves. That punch, although it didn't seem like much, probably counts for more than it should because it's exceptional in this fight.
As round 5 begins, Marco Antonio Barrera, with his cautious early fight plan, may have given Erik Morales a solid early lead on the scorecards, as Morales has been the aggressor and has seized the initiative so far in the fight.
We have seen Barrera become more of a versatile boxer puncher over the last couple of years. The question here is whether that's the right style for this fight. He was successful with his other style. He's not being successful now.
What happened in the first boxing match, Morales did not expect to get what he got out of Barrera. This is a different day. These guys have ultra respect, and this Morales is using his height, keeping his hands up when he's attacked. He has respect, and that changed everything.
Don't hit and hold.
There are faint boos around the arena, probably boos from the Tijuanans here to support Morales, and disturbed that Barrera is fighting such a cautious and passive fight. If they're not getting the warfare they might have wanted. Morales reaching and landing with the right hand. And a chopping right hand for Barrera.
Barrera's going back to the old habits of dropping his hands as he moves back. That's been the problem. That was the problem in the first fight. After the exchange, he gets hit.
Marco Antonio doesn't feel, it seems as though he has to land a combination until Morales lands something against him. Now he throws a 3-punch combination.
A far cry from the 5th round of the first fight.
Let go, don't punch. Box.
Blocked. Good left hand to the body. Nady says keep it up. But the effect is there.
The first fight was when we were fools. This fight is now that we are millionaires.
Well said, George. They're fighting like guys with a lot more money in the bank.
I'm telling you, that's $1 million purse. I'd like one of those.
Erik Morales stalking and attacking with the right hand. Barrera being forced to fight. Confused by the tapping of the 10-second board, Morales stops. Now he tries to come back, and suddenly the fight breaks out. That's what this crowd was looking for.
I don't think any of that amounted to a whole lot, but at least there was some drama in it.
It amounted to a lot. Tells you, don't turn your back on Barrera.
No mercy.
Deep breath through the mouth, please. Come on, they're very intelligent.
Hard round to score, and a critical round, because if Barrera lost it, he might be down 4 rounds to 1 early.
What's the matter? What's the matter? You're not doing too much in the first half. Come on, we gotta go. We gotta do something. We gotta do it.
Odd that an experienced fighter like Morales would be confused by the 10-second warning, but he was. Perhaps that woke up Barrera, because he seems to have been in a tactical trance for the last couple of rounds.
Barrera landed only 8 of 37 punches in the round. Morales 15 out of 49. You can see that Harold Letterman already has Morales winning for the first round, 5 rounds in the fight. Barrera starts to dig that left hand to the body.
Barrera looks like he's ready now to go to work. He realizes that
Barrera lost his temper that Morales turned his back on him. Now he's mad.
How dare you try not to fight me in the middle of a round? But he hadn't fought that way up to that moment. Now Barrera's starting to come forward and attack.
That's what we haven't seen all night, is Morales with his back on the rope. You don't want that now.
Ebb and flow, shifting tides of fortune. Barrera feeling some sense of urgency after a relatively passive first 5 rounds, starts to come ahead.
Morales has been very successful about keeping his back off the rope.
Good right hand by Barrera. Morales dropping his hands. Marco Antonio taking advantage. Morales looks at Jay Nady as if to say, he's still hitting me low. Nady says, go back and fight.
He won, Barrera. Barrera's playing the part of the counterpuncher now. Left uppercut if you hit me with your jab. So try to make him stop throwing his jab to the body. Morales does well if he keeps this a boxing match, keeps his hands up, get that jab going.
Different fight now than it was in the first 5 rounds. Look at Barrera shortening the distance and unloading the left hand. It's a fight now. And Morales seemingly a little back on his heels as Barrera totally changes his tactics.
He's waiting for that 10-second warning.
Uppercut lands for Barrera. Right hand by Morales.
You're going to see something once they clap those sticks together. Barrera gets hungry.
There are the 6. 10 seconds to go. Let's see if either fighter flurries to try to steal a close round. Barrera is the aggressor in round 6.
You can't go back. You can't go back. You can't work backwards. Don't lower your hands. When you pressure, he doesn't need nothing. Dry his gloves. They're wet. Put some water in his balls. Come on. You got a jab, move lateral. Yeah, you got to be loose and strong.
Barrera getting a little bit rough in here. He has to fight a rougher fight. He's been staying at a distance. The way he fought so brilliantly 2.5 years ago was simply by jumping into Morales' face and taking advantage of the fact that Morales throws longer punches.
It may not have looked that way, but CompuBox numbers heavily favored Morales in round number 6. He landed 25 out of 58 punches to 13 out of 45 for Barrera. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. You know, in rounds 3, 4, and 5, Marco Antonio Barrera was on his toes running away as I saw it. But in round 6, I don't give a darn how many punches he landed. He went flat-footed. He was the old Marco Antonio Barrera, and he landed with power. So I gave him the 6th round. I've also given him the 2nd round. 4 rounds to 2. Erik Morales, 58-56 in points. But Barrera, when he goes flat-footed, is coming off.
This is the 6th fight that Erik Morales has had since their first meeting in Feb 2000. And this is by far the best Morales has looked in any of those 6 fights. That's what his fans and supporters predicted.
His corner has warned him, Morales, don't fight backing up. You can't do it that way. He's got to keep that fight coming to Barrera.
Well, if they're both going to go forward, then the combustion is coming.
No, you circle. You make a circle. Get in a circle. Can't be straight back.
Barrera hurt Morales with the right hand upstairs. Morales comes right back with a left and right combination. Barrera sharp again with the right hand. Morales takes advantage as Barrera's off balance. Hard body shot down, and it's not going to be ruled a knockdown. Jay Nady's going to call it a slip. Looked for a moment like a knockdown on a body shot.
Nady, I believed that Barrera was simply off balance. It could have been scored a knockdown.
Jay Nady is one of the best, I can give you that.
He pointed to the feet as if to say that Morales had his foot on Barrera's shoe.
Barrera's got to know that he's got to keep that fight on the rope.
He seems momentarily unnerved by that turn of events, and Morales landed a big 1-2. But this is the best round of the fight so far. They have both had their moments.
That's an excellent jab that Morales does not use enough.
And he's beating Barrera to the punch with it, stopping Marco Antonio before he can start his attack. They trade shots at close range again.
How come you isn't opening your mouth? Come, give me the end swell. I got to do something.
Step on his foot.
Come on, you got to be loose. Deep breaths. Come on. Okay, it's round 8 coming up. You got to fight all the way.
Barrera is trying to seize the initiative, landed a good right hand, perhaps his best punch of the fight, and later he went down. I don't see any reason that should not have been called a knockdown. There was a slight brush of the feet, so Nagy, give him credit. He caught it.
That was a slip. That was a slip.
Morales with a 12-7 edge and power connects in the 7th round. Barrera has been economical, and therefore Morales has thrown and landed more through the first 7 rounds of the fight.
The referee knows these fighters, and he understands that you're not going to just knock a Barrera down with a body shot like that. There has to be something involved, and he's at the heels.
5 rounds to go, and it would appear that Morales might have a working margin on the scorecard. And he chases Barrera around the ring. Barrera seeming to allow Morales to use some energy. Unfurls that big left hook.
That punch landed on the ear of Morales and seemed to bother him.
Morales is just surprised that he can win a boxing match tonight. It's out there for him. All he has to do is take the initiative, go out and win a boxing match. Barrera is not going to slug it out and fight with him. You're going to have to take it by points.
Why shouldn't Barrera slug it out with him?
He just, for some reason, has decided he doesn't want to do it.
All right, well, then we're finding out that some of the pieces that were left in the ring of themselves 2.5 years ago are still there, that they have not fully recovered. They don't want to go through that kind of grind and punishment again.
But everybody's interested. He's very interested.
Everybody thought it was Morales who might have had trouble recovering from the first fight. Maybe the change in Barrera's style isn't conducive to going to war against Erik Morales. No knockdown there. Barrera cannot afford a point deduction.
The referee understands that this is a very important fight, and he does not want to be pushed in a position where he's going to decide who's the winner. But he wants the fight to be fought out in the ring. That's a great move by the referee.
Jay Nady's had 2 previous big fights. Costa-Sioux against Zab Judah. And prior to that, he was the referee for Fernando Vargas against Felix Trinidad here.
Another right hand to the body by Morales.
And once again, Barrera goes back to the passive style that he demonstrated in the first 5 rounds.
So far, we've worked ourselves up to this fight for nothing.
Hey, these guys get paid to box, Larry. Don't blame them because they have a brain.
I wouldn't exactly call it
10 man.
I wouldn't exactly call it nothing. Just because it isn't what it was 2.5 years ago doesn't mean it's nothing. It's something now as Barrera lands 3 vicious hard shots. A left and a right.
Go for it.
Barrera's fully engaged now, and he probably won the round with that vicious flurry toward the end.
That's it, Marco. You got him now. Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, you got him now. You're the one that's healthy. I feel good. I feel real good.
Tira tu golpeo. Tira tu golpeo.
You know what we worked on? 9th round. Come on, don't be overconfident now. Be careful. But you got to throw it. We got enough conditioning. We got enough stamina. Go for it.
There's a cut on Morales' right eye. It was ruled that it happened by a punch.
Happened toward the end of the round when Barrera landed that big left hook. Morales with the edge and power shots landed through the 8th round. 74-48 by CompuBox numbers. Barrera landing the bigger punches now as we come into the 9th.
Morales' right eye seems to be closing.
And he's on the defensive as Barrera tries to attack again.
And Barrera's got control of the fight. He's got to take it. Don't wait around and allow this guy to get his courage.
Great counter left hand by Barrera. Blocked Morales' shots and caught him with that little hook. Morales is once again stunned, and now he lands a big right hand.
Good short left hand inside, almost out of view by Barrera. Blood now from the mouth of Morales, I believe.
And the right eye is swelling shut. If Morales' right eye swells shut, Barrera will load up more on the left hook. Chopping right hand by Barrera.
Morales is trying to keep his movement to the left. You can watch things better that way. That right eye is probably causing him some vision problems, so he's not moving over to the right. Keep it to the left. Keep everything to the left.
We've seen 3 different fights so far. The tactical introduction, the boxing match dominated by Morales, and now for the last 2 rounds, the slugging match begins, and Barrera's winning that. combination by Barrera. Morales' activity level way down. The Mexico City fighter taking over.
Well, it's not nothing now, George.
Now the country boy takes over.
Yep, Erik Morales coming right back with left-right combinations.
But that eye is going to cause him a little too many problems right now.
Yep, the blood is starting to flow again from the corner of the eye. Look at the courage of Morales as he backs off and lands another shot.
Now the corner man plays. How much do you pay these guys? And for what reason?
Well, Erik Morales has Miguel Diaz in his corner, one of the very best. He's got a job to do in these last 3 rounds coming up. Hard right hand and another left by Barrera. Big shot. Erik Morales taking a lot of punishment in this round.
You're not throwing enough. You gotta be more aggressive. What's the matter? Hey, don't be overconfident. The referee's not helping us any. The headbutt, he didn't count. He's not doing nothing. Don't let him get away with anything. Put some pressure on him. Come on, don't lower your hands. Come on, we gotta get going. Let's go all the way. Go all out. You want the win? You want the revenge? Go for it. Let's go for it. Deep breath, deep breath. Come on, he's got nothing left, so go for it. You gotta throw more.
Blood, sangre is drama. Now we have drama.
How do you have it scored through 9 rounds?
Okay, Jim, after giving up an awful lot of those early rounds, Marco Antonio Barrera has won 3 out of the last 4. I got an 86-85, 5 rounds to 4. Erik Morales, but I tell you something, I don't think Erik Morales can see Barrera's left hand coming. I think that right eye is just about shut. Marco Antonio Barrera, I think he's going to take control of this fight.
I have it 4 rounds to 4, 1 even, an even fight.
Straight right hand for Morales. He's been much better in the first minute of this 10th round. Morales coming back and establishing yet again his imprint on the fight. George, it's a brave performance by the Tijuana fighter. Big left hook by Morales.
You got to understand that Barrera was in reserve for the first 5 rounds. He didn't throw anything, so now he's using his reserve. Morales, of course, has made him use some. Now he can pick up the pace.
Almost as though Barrera fought the first 5 rounds under wraps.
Waiting. So now he has some energy in reserve, but now they're evenly winded. Both guys are tired now. They both expelled some energy.
But the difference in the fight may turn out to be that right eye.
The good thing about Morales, he's accustomed to fighting swollen and cut eyes.
He's going to have to fight. He's going to have to fight back and try to keep Barrera on the defensive. That's the best way to protect his eye. Big right hand by Morales.
Keep in mind that Morales was much more marked up than Barrera in the first fight, and he won it.
A courageous 10th round here by Erik Morales, who has reestablished his initiative in the fight once again. Good body shot by Morales. Left hook, right cross. Barrera on the defensive again. Now Marco comes back. Almost went down.
That J Navy is strong, isn't he? Move your hand.
Heavyweight.
That's the kind of referee I like to see.
Morales had to turn the tide around, and he has done it in this round.
Man, what the corner will do with his eye. Barrera is trying to take a breather. He's throwing a lot of shots. It's up to Morales now to keep the pressure on him. Don't let him breathe. Now he's allowed him to rest. And that's when his trouble starts.
In a close fight, Barrera seems to have taken a lot of the 10th round off, and Morales regains a foothold.
Okay, here, hold this for me. Hold this down.
Ponle mucha agua en la cabeza, respira duro.
Put a lot of water. We're fighting. 11 or 2 more rounds to go.
No queremos que le den la iniciativa.
You see that it hurt him?
Sígame tirando puro
You
reto.
gotta throw those straight right hands.
El referee le está permitiendo.
The referee is allowing him to do whatever he wants.
Por este lado no le va a llamar la atención.
Well,
Sigue haciendo
referee's not gonna do all that.
Usted también agáchale tantito la cabeza y está cortado, no ve,
He's
Marcos.
cut, he can't see. We got him now. We got it now. Pressure him. With a lot of pressure. Pressure him. You got it, you son of a gun.
Seconds out, seconds out.
The first fight was an action-adventure movie. This fight is more of a drama, changes in fortune. The bad eye of Morales suddenly playing into a different kind of narrative.
Could become a suspense thriller. Power shots in round 10. Morales landed 23 of 51. Barrera 4 of 17. It was clearly Erik Morales' comeback round.
Now he's taking the jab. Allowing Barrera to start jabbing him. You don't want that.
Tremendous counterpunching by Morales. He can certainly still see out of the left eye. Big shot
He
by
hit him
Barrera.
behind the head. He hit him behind the head.
He did indeed.
The referee to say something, but they're not going to help you.
Oh, but he ducked his head all the way down right in front of him, George.
Barrera seems focused on trying to win the 11th round, which would shorten the margin on the scorecards once again, the way we see it. Chopping right hand by Barrera there. Good combo by Morales. Big right hand by Barrera. Trading shots.
That Barrera is strong as an ox.
He's been down against Kennedy McKinney, Agapito Sanchez, and he was knocked out by Junior Jones. But in recent fights, Barrera's had an iron chin.
That's that backing away with your hands down by Morales again. Got to keep your hands up if you back away.
Pretty even round. They both landed some shots. Barrera's been the aggressor.
Great right hand.
Don't grab his head, la cabeza.
These guys have expressed so much hate for one another. And that's why the referee has seen that, although they didn't mess up their strategy at all, they have that much hate for one another, and yet keep your hands up and play the game of boxing.
Into the corner. Stop! Barrera trying to apply more damage to Morales' right eye. Tough round to score. But if Barrera has won that round, then the fight may be on the table in the 12th.
One more.
You gotta throw it all. You gotta hit it all. I think we're losing. I think we're losing. We need to win the round.
Ya, Marco, tú eres muy bueno, eres un maestro. Olvídate, Valde, olvídate.
Give me some water.
Last round. It's all coming fraction. Low. Get in the back, please. La última, ¿qué es? Tienes que denunciarlo en este round.
You gotta knock him down.
Quiero que salga tú a presionarlo desde el
Okay, I want you to come out and put pressure on him. Everything. Give it all. Give it all. Don't hold anything back.
Vámonos del último
Don't leave nothing for tomorrow. Throw it all.
Judges at ringside. Chuck Giampa of Las Vegas, Wayne Ford of Las Vegas, Mike Maidana of Illinois. In the 11th round, Barrera by CompuBox numbers threw more, landed more power shots. Fight may be on the table here. Harold, how do you have it?
I don't know, Jim. 106, 103. Erik Morales. Jim, I tell you something. In the 11th round, Erik Morales certainly had that right eye closed, and a lot of times Marco was swinging it in. I mean, Erik was moving around it, and Marco was missing him. I get that round to Erik also. I think he's got a 7-4 lead. 106, 103.
You heard Barrera's corner telling him they thought he was behind. He seems to be trying for a big round or maybe the knockout.
Well, my card, Barrera needs a knockdown to have a chance to win the fight.
You got to admit, we're watching this great fight, but it was Larry Merchant who never stopped talking about the rematch. That's why this fight has happened.
You think I brought in these 13 or 14,000 people in
Oh,
here?
yes, you did.
Big right hand by Barrera. Stuns Morales. He hits him in the mouth again. What a chin Erik Morales shows against this assault. Barrera has landed a half-dozen big shots since the start of the round. Barrera looking for a 10-8 round.
Maybe if he'd have fought some of the early rounds this way, he wouldn't need it.
Amen.
And there's the Morales rally. Morales takes a chance when he does this. He opens himself up to big counters.
As long as he keeps his head on Barrera's chest, he's out of harm's way. Just don't back away. Don't back away.
And don't duck for where Barrera can hit him with the left hook. Hard right hand by Morales. Barrera continues to attack. Down the stretch they come. We're going to let the last minute play in the clear.
No, stop.
This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Pride, honor, revenge, Mexican boxing at its best.
Was it too much, too late for Barrera?
And while Morales' supporters loft him onto their shoulders and parade him around the ring, Marco Antonio Barrera still has his feet on the canvas and seems mildly disappointed. In the 12th round, by CompuBox numbers, Barrera landed 38 of 88, by far his biggest round of the fight, a 33-15 edge in Power Connect.
If you stay back and you hold off for 5 rounds like that, you got to go for a knockout. He didn't get a knockout tonight, all because he waited too long.
Nobody's ever knocked Erik Morales out, and maybe nobody ever will. Despite the seemingly skinny frame, Morales has an iron chin.
Little piece of leather, but he's well put together.
Born above a boxing gym in Tijuana, Erik Morales, the pride of El Norte, has made his fans proud tonight with a comeback performance, his best in 2.5 years. But was it enough to beat Marco Antonio Barrera?
I don't like a fighter giving up that many rounds early on and then coming back, still in the crowd as he did. He did steal the fans.
Let's take a look at some action from the 12th round, George, as Barrera unloaded the kitchen trying to find a way to seal the deal.
He tried his best, but at the same time, Morales was always fighting back, and he had fear that he may catch him one point or another. Toe-to-toe.
This is the way they finish in noble and memorable fashion. Larry Merton at one point said it was nothing. I totally have to differ. If it weren't for the unreal nature of its predecessor, this too would be seen as a great fight. Harold Letterman, how did you score it?
Okay, Jim. 115, 113. Erik El Terrible Morales, 7 rounds to 5. Jim, just as George said, Marco Antonio Barrera just started too late. Probably gave up at least 4 out of the first 6 rounds. By the time he got started, Erik Morales had too big an early lead. Certainly, I don't know what in God's name Marco Antonio Barrera was thinking about in the 10th round. The 10th round was absolutely unreal. Morales' eye completely closed, and he dominates the round, and I actually thought he won the 11th round as well. Barrera comes back big in the 12th to make it close, but it's still Morales 115, 113.
And Harold, I got to say one thing. I never score the fights. I have nothing but the greatest respect for you. I think you're dead wrong about the 11th round, and if you are, that would make it an even fight. George, what's your feeling?
I agree with the judge this time. I really do.
So
but I don't see as well as I used to.
Oh, no, you see pretty well, George. All right, they wait for the decision again. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, the 2 best featherweights in the world came into the ring, but now only one will leave as the very best. We go to the Budweiser scorecard. Chuck Champa scores the contest 116 to 112. Mike Liana and Dwayne Ford have it 115 to 113. All for the winner by unanimous decision. De Ciudad de Mexico, Marco Antonio Barrera.
What a reversal. For 2.5 years, Marco Antonio Barrera's constituents have complained about the decision in the first fight. Now it's time for Morales' people to lodge the same complaint.
That's right, poetic justice. Now the shoe is on the other foot.
And Morales bolts out of the ring without sticking around for any post-fight conversation. Morales is running to the dressing room, infuriated by the decision. Erik Morales must feel like he can't get a break against Marco Antonio Barrera. When he won the fight the first time around, virtually nobody gave him credit for it. This time he loses on a night when it appeared he deserved a better fate.